Okay, so basically what I've broken through here is the understanding of the geo-negative axis. The light, or the actually now it's going to be the universal negative axis because it's going to explain the universe. They tried to summarize the universe, but they didn't have enough information. So really what it is, I'm going to explain to you now. Now I'm using my GNA book as well for some guidelines here. But the main thing is through space and time. Light is above gravity. And all those forces, when you put it through a shade or a slightly vented window, it expands as it goes with distance. So it also has itself in the increase of space and time. Now what this means, right? This goes on great lengths, and it'll be in upcoming books. Right now I'm being bombarded by a mafia that wants to own my stuff, so it's a little hard, but I'm going to eventually get your books, new books out for you guys to read, to buy from me directly. Now, this is the thing. In the course of information, in the course of the universe, right? You have many types of many types of universes, let's say. Now we see some of them are extremely large, and some of these universes are so big that we can't even estimate like how much light is there and how much light is going on, but that light is still doesn't reach the whole universe. The whole universe does not get lit up. So light itself is on a negative base axis, meaning it has to be like, it has to be relative, right? This is where relativity actually is. So relative means that light, that a person in like, let's say, a giant place, a foot for them or a hand is going to be a hand there, right? So this motion like this covers, right? But light is irrelevant. This is how light is not relative. Light is absolute. Let me just explain to you right now. Because light is irrelevant when it comes to that. Why? Because if you light a small light, that light will not reach everywhere. It won't reach to a certain point. So there's the idea of speed of light. This is why they never calculated the actual speed of light, because there is such thing. It's actually irrelevant. Why? Because it's not relative to everything. Relative means a space applied, right? So this space here is also a space somewhere else, somebody's hand in another planet that's much larger than ours. But here's the thing. This is how the geo-negative axis comes in and is the actual thing, or the universal negative axis. Because that space, this is what makes the difference of space-time differentiation. This is what makes the difference, and also speed. That in that space, right, you'll be covering for, like, let's say an insect, right? They can even emit light. There's lightning bugs, they can emit a little bit of light. That light is insignificant to us. We cross that, how much light he produces, by going like that. That's the speed of light as well. You understand? That's the speed of light. Everything actually is part of the speed of light, if you think about it, right? Now, why? Because it's not regulated on the speed of light. It's not regulated on relativity of light. Light is not relative. Okay, just because light does something in the universe, or, doesn't mean that it's relative and it's like that everywhere. But what is everywhere is this space negation of action. So now, when you get into the greater universes that are explained, like in the Vedas, right? There's Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is laying. All these universes are in him, right? So he's in the causal ocean. He could be active, right? So this Mahavishnu could be active, or he could be laying in the causal. And just with his exhalation, within his exhalation, right, there's billions and trillions of years going on of our time. This is the reason, because of the space he's negating. This is how much space. So for us, that space is that space is so large we can't even begin to calculate it. You understand? The multiverses are in him. So when he exhales, he's covering spaces that are larger than the universes. You understand? Practically speaking, right? So he could blow out, and that could go even larger than his body, that air. And then the inhalation. So within that exhaled inhalation, this is where I figured out because of that. The inhale and exhalation of Mahavishnu, right? There's universes being created and destroyed. And also, and when you go to Brahma's, same thing. Brahma's planet, even a short time there, because the speed of light there, right, becomes insignificant. Meaning, for here, it may go this far. I mean, here it may go all the way to the light, but over there it just goes like this. That light that you perceived here just goes like that. That's the speed of light. You understand? Right there, in Brahma's realm. So speed of light is not something you need to calculate. It's something you need to add to the absolute range that deals with space being negated. So when space is negated, that's when time itself can become slower, because light itself, right, as we said, becomes nothing. Light itself, if you go to speed of light, things will become slower, right? In where you are, they say like this. They have this theory, but really what that is because it does when things are flying, the timer in the thing that's flying will go less time, will show less time because it's traveling. So at the same rate, when this space it's because the space is being negated at a speed. That's what it has to do with. So this little space goes like that, right? Here, I mean, in Brahma Lok, in Brahma's planet, right? It goes like that. He's a huge planet, so it goes like this in Brahma's planet. The space, what we're looking for, what we're trying to get, all these Hadron Colliders and all these other things, to make the speed of light here in Brahma's realm is like this. So what they're looking for is like this. It's stupid what they're doing. They don't even know what science is. That's what I mean. They should have came to me. I could explain this to them a long time ago. But anyway, they like to play dumb, and now they're going to take this theory and think they know what they're doing, and they're just not going to get anywhere. So until they come to me, they're not going to get anywhere with the science, because this is what it is. There is no relative in the light. Relativity just has to do with what goes on here, goes on there, and it's a relative experience. It's in relation to. And then they get into string theory. Then you string things together, and this comes to that, and therefore everything becomes within relation. But that doesn't have anything to do with explaining the universe and how it functions and how light works. And light is not relevant. It's irrelevant. Light is, understand, I'm saying it first. Light is irrelevant because when it comes to, because it becomes a negation of space. So the object goes like this, right? And there, it goes like that. But for us, it can be the entire planet traveling super fast. But for there, it's just like this. So what is this speed of light thing? It's just that. That's it. That's the speed of light. You see it? Okay. So if you want to calculate the speed of light and understand this philosophy and understand how the world works, don't bother with that. First, understand how space negation works. You understand? Then when you understand the space negation, you would have to make something very large that negates space as it moves. Now, when that negation of space is moving, the more it's moving at its own rates, negating space, then to us, it becomes the absorption of much more space, thus proving that the space is actually conscious, and that the universe is conscious, and that we are remaining in the realm of a conscious living entity called Mahavishnu. Vishnu is like the universe, the universe creator. Right, Vishnu, that's what it just means in Sanskrit, so it's not really that complicated. And this is understandable, because the speed of light thing, traveling through times, it's like for us, it might be some influential there, right? We could do some certain things going fast, right? We could deduct time, we could play with time, but in reality, it's just a negation of space. So now you understand that? That if you're the reason why that space goes faster in those places where people are much larger, is because of that. is because of this, because there, light becomes insignificant. It becomes irrelevant. Our light. So time, so we're moving here, right? And then something gets thrown at a distance, and then it because of its moving velocity, it therefore the calculation of its time becomes less than the time that we're experiencing. You understand? So time actually, so the space that it's moving and the speed that it's absorbing, it's the space that it's absorbing. It's the negation of space. It has nothing to do with light, really. Because in those larger realms, they're not moving in the speed of light and making a time differentiation. They're negating space in a much larger capacity. You understand? So therefore, that's how their time, according to ours, and this is the first time this was even heard, was in the Vedic scriptures. Nobody even knew about this time differentiation, and then they tested it and it became real. How did the Vedics know? Where the Vedics didn't have hand clocks, from what we know. So they had to know this by going to those realms. Thus the Vedic scriptures are real. Thus those inhabitants have come here. They call them aliens, but we're the aliens, if anything. We're here trying to harness. We're souls from another place in a place that we don't really are not from. So we actually are the aliens. But now you understand? It's from the space negated. So there, speed of light is like this. All this that we're trying to do, right? On Brahma's body is like that. But Brahma's moving around. So he's covering that speed of light. And he's even moving fast sometimes. Sometimes they're speeding, they're running, they're flying, they're moving so fast. So that little time that they're running in those giant existence and bodies, that little time that they're running, here is negation of so much space that for them it moves slower. You understand? So the object, the space negating that we see here, they're moving slower. That's from the negation of space. It's got nothing to do with relativity or anything else. Light is not relevant. Light is insignificant and irrelevant. Remember that. I taught it to you. Now you understand it. Einstein was not correct. He was just giving you bits and pieces of information. He helped, but he took it out of the scriptures. So basically he just described it in scientific, but I'm the one here, Uddhava Samanich, Ujjval, who has fully explained it and has fully given it its actual understanding of how it works and how it negates time and how it operates, okay? You're not going to get this from anywhere else, and you should explain this to NASA on them to give me my reward already, because it's not fair. Give me my award already, because you have to, this is it. Society will know what happened. Okay? When people get smarter and they stop, when they realize they're just playing a rat race and they're just feeding demons, and they don't need to do that because life is much better when you're serving God and you're doing the right thing, they're going to realize that this Ujjval guy, he didn't get an award, and he's the one that our civilization right now is resting on, his science. That's horrible. And they're going to fire on those people. So I'm trying to explain it to them. They don't believe me, but I know this. So it's better if you turn that around and do the right thing and show the proper credential. Don't listen to any of these CIA people, any of these people after me. They're all nonsense. They don't know what they're talking about. They're making stuff up. They pretend that if somebody's attacking you, you should be like subservient to them. Oh, please. No, you pray to God. Get these people away from me. Kill them. Do whatever you got to do, God. Just get them away from me. I don't care. I don't care what you do. That's how I am. I really don't care at this point. Revenge or not. Just get them away from me. I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I let God deal with them. That's the better way. I have better things to do in my time, and I just need them to be free from my body. So the sooner that you cut through that grass, the sooner you can get me teaching this more and expounding the books more. It's not about owning the rights. It's about giving the proper information so you yourselves who are trying to own my rights can understand these things and progress from them, instead of being low, dirty, conniving, and never getting anywhere. So please take this heed into effect and understand the negation of space is what makes the time differentiation. Okay? Not relativity. Relativity is it's just another word, like, things that are relative. Okay, now you understand. Negation of space. I'm going to put that in a formula soon. I made a few formulas and they got caught up, but I'll make it soon, all right? Take care. Geo-Negative axis, Ujjval, Uddhava Samanich here. Om Namaste. Hallelujah, amen.